In this video, we are given the equation x times sine of y over x minus y times cosine of x over y equals x times y. We are going to find dy dx at the point 1, comma 1. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Okay, the point 1, 1, what does this mean? This means we're going to find the derivative with respect to x. It will be a function with respect to x and y. We're going to plug in x equals 1, and this means y equals 1, or x equals y equals 1. Okay. Now we're going to do the derivative with respect to x on both sides. Now let's look at the insides derivative. So we're going to have y over x and x over y. The other ones will need product rules, but this will also need product rules. So we're going to do the derivative of y over x, which is the derivative of y times 1 over x. This will be a product rule. So the derivative of the first with respect to x is dy dx, plus the second, which is y. I won't write the plus first. So we have y times the derivative of 1 over x, which is negative 1 over x squared. So I'm going to write it like this. Okay, now let's do the derivative of x over y. This can be written as the derivative of x times 1 over y. Derivative of the first, which is 1, times 1 over y, plus x times the second, which is minus 1 over y squared. But with respect to x, the inside is times dy dx. Okay, so we can write this as minus x over y squared times dy dx. So minus x over y squared times dy dx. Okay, good. So now let's use that. So this will be a product rule. So the first is, derivative of the first is just 1, so that'd be sine of y over x, plus x times the derivative of sine of something, which is cosine of that something. And now we're going to multiply that by the derivative of y over x, which we just found out is dy dx. Then we have minus, let's just see, y over x squared. Okay, good. Okay, so we did that, and now we're going to move on to the second part of the equation. So we have the derivative of y with respect to x is minus dy dx. And then we have cosine of x over y, right? Yes, and then we're going to have y, we have a minus sign, but the derivative of cosine is another minus sign, so we have minus minus, which is plus, sine of x over y times the derivative with respect to x, and we know that now is 1 over y minus x over y squared times dy dx. Okay, we're almost done. So we have 4 terms, because we have 2 terms with the product rules, that makes sense. Equal to the right-hand side, the derivative. So the derivative of x is 1 times y plus x times the derivative of y with respect to x, which is dy dx. Okay, good. A lot of work, but it all pays off. Okay. Now we're going to plug in at x equals y equals 1. Okay. So what's going to happen here? So we're going to have sine of 1. So we're going to have sine of 1 plus, we're just plugging in 1 for x and y. So we have 1 times cosine of 1, and then we're going to have multiplied by dy dx, what I'll just write as y prime, it's the same thing. Y over x squared is 1 over 1, which is 1. And then we're going to have minus y prime cosine of 1, and then plus 1 times sine of 1 times 1 minus x over y squared, still 1, times dy dx, which is y prime I'm using. So that's 4 terms technically. Yep. On the right hand side we have y, which is 1, plus x, which is 1, times dy dx, which is, I'm calling it y prime. So we have y prime. So let's get y prime on the, let's move into the right hand side, because we'll see something interesting happen. So this is plus cosine 1 times y prime, right? But this is also y prime times cosine 1, it's the same thing. So we're going to cancel this y prime in the parentheses with this, and that's just going to cancel that term out. So we have 1 sine 1, we have another sine 1 times 1, which is 2 sine 1, plus cosine, not plus, minus 1, remember the minus, times cosine 1, which is cosine 1. Okay? And all this is in radians, by the way, if it wasn't clear. We have minus sine 1 times y prime. Now this is equal to 1 plus y prime. So again, let's move the y prime to the other side, the right hand side. Move everything without y prime to the left hand side. So we have y prime multiplied by 1 plus sine 1 is equal to 2 sine 1 minus cosine 1. We'll subtract the minus 1 on the other side to the other side. So we're going to have y prime, which is dy dx, which is 2 sine 1 minus cosine 1 minus 1 all over. We're going to write the sine 1 first because it looks better, plus 1. And everything is in radians. And that is the end of the video. Hope you liked it. And thank you for watching.